Hello and welcome to the Downsized Dish. My name's Laraine Durham, and this is our weekly platform where we talk to people who have lost weight on GLP-1 medications like Manjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy, and Ozempic. Today we're talking to Rachael Reynolds Soucie. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks. Thanks for coming on today.
Sure.
Now, Rachel, you and I met on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I'm on all the groups.
And I think I stood up for you, or I had to clap back at some haters that were coming at you for something. Do you remember the story?
There's so many haters. I zone it out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on those Facebook groups too. And when I see the comments, sometimes I'm just compelled to like
Yeah.
get them. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your weight loss journey?
My weight loss journey has been about 30 years. And I have a long story, so I'm going to talk and talk. I used to be a journalist, so
Oh, cool.
I talk quite a bit. So you just tell me when to stop.
Okay.
So I've always struggled with my weight. I turned 49 last week. And I started Weight Watchers back in probably my 20s, 30s. I really got into it once I had my daughter. So, over the years, when I worked corporate, I would go up and down. I remember thinking to myself when I was on Weight Watchers that I probably lost and gained about 200 pounds over
Yeah.
those 10, 15 years. Back then, I would exercise, step aerobics, all that stuff, just like
Yeah.
gung ho. And it was a little bit easier for me because I was young, my knees didn't hurt, I had lots of energy, and it wasn't easy, but it came a little bit more naturally. So, fast forward about 10 years, like I said, I was a journalist. I had a very large job in the newsroom, and it defined me. I have a degree in journalism and marketing and worked my way up to the ranks. Journalism, newspapers have gone down.
Yeah.
So 10 years ago, I lost my job along with
A lot of
many
other
other
people.
senior editors. And at the time, I had been dabbling in my own business. Right now, I'm in my studio. I make skincare, handmade skincare. My business name is Gracie Pie Apothecary. So I'm going to throw that out there. But when I lost my job, I decided I am just going to go ahead and take this full time. It's been great. But at the same time, I was my own boss. Wonderful. But I didn't really have anyone to be accountable to besides myself. At that time, and again, this was about 10 years ago, I didn't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning, didn't have to be somewhere right at 8 o'clock. And I have always been a heavy drinker. Over the last 10 years, I will admit, it had gotten really bad to the point where I had gained probably 70 pounds. It was making my job harder. I felt like crap. Just the toll of the alcohol was really bad for me. So this past January, you hear about the drugs, Ozempic and the semaglutide, and I thought I'm done with this body. I can't move. Everything is making it harder for me. And so I went to the doctor and I said, "Look, I would really like to start this drug." So she said, "Okay, let's start it, but we need to get your blood work first." So blood work came back, and I was diagnosed in January with type 2 diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize how scary that disease is. We caught it early, but you start researching and people lose their limbs and they get neuropathy and all this kind of stuff. And it really worried me. So I said, look, now I really need to get on this drug. This is something I need to take my health back. I'm actually on Rybelsus. This is the
Hmm.
pill form. Yeah, people always throw out Ozempic, Wegovy, all of those, but very few people know about Rybelsus. Same sort of titration. You start at 3, then you go to
Mhm.
7, then you go to 14. So I started on 3 back in January, and so far, as of this morning, I'm down 55 pounds.
That's awesome.
So really excited about that. I've lost probably 4 dress sizes. The shorts that I'm wearing now, I bought for a trip to Punta Cana back in early March, and I tried them on just because it's getting warmer. I'm from Chicago. And
Yeah.
I was like, gosh, these things are loose. When I talked to my doctor, and I knew going in to talk to my doctor, I just knew I'm like, I want to lose weight, but the alcohol really what put so much of the weight on. Plus, I
Yeah.
wasn't exercising. And I remember thinking to myself, sitting in the doctor's office and thinking, you're going to have to cut down the alcohol. That's the only way that we're going to get this weight off. We're going to do it in moderation, maybe a couple glasses of wine on the weekend, that sort of thing. And it's just going to be something that you're going to have to face and deal with. So I took the pill the first time, started off on 3, and I did not have the urge to drink alcohol at all.
Yeah. Now, let me ask a question. Is Rybelsus semaglutide?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
Yep,
it's similar to Ozempic Wegovy, just in pill form instead of a shot form.
exactly. I'm not good with needles, but it works.
That's
It
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a miracle. So I was like really taken aback. At the same time, that little demon was like, okay, you still need a drink. I went out and I bought some beer and I bought some wine. And I'm like, I'm gonna have a glass of wine tonight on Wednesday. And no, I cracked open, poured myself a glass of wine, and I just couldn't drink it. Same with
Wow.
the food. You have
Yeah.
that full feeling, just I don't want to eat. And so it's been 4 months. I have to look at my app here, but I haven't had a drink in I think 110 days, whatever it is. Yeah. I had a few when I was in Punta Cana, but I wasn't getting completely wasted. So that has been the biggest surprise for this weight loss journey. And it's been a long time coming. I know people are worried about having to go off it. And it was a real struggle with my insurance company to get
Mm.
this medicine covered.
And with the type 2 diabetes, they didn't wanna
Oh,
cover
yeah,
it?
no, I had to fight with them over it. Right now, I do pay, I think it's $25 a month, something like that. So I'm
Yeah.
really blessed. They
Awesome.
will only cover it for 1 year. I hope they're not listening right now because when I went to the doctor a couple weeks ago, so my A1C was over 7 and
Yeah,
it's now like 5.0. So I literally have gotten my type 2 diabetes into remission.
under control.
But I don't want to go off it because I'm worried that I will progress not only in as far as my diet, but the alcohol.
The drinking too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I've always been pretty much very good clean eating. I'm a kind of a vegetarian. I don't eat red meat. I do eat chicken, but I'm really tofu, beans, salad. I love those things. I would eat Brussels sprouts for breakfast every day. Oh, I love them.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So if I have to come off it, I think I would do okay,
yeah.
but I worry about the alcohol.
People talk about food noise. Was that an issue? Did you have the food noise and the alcohol noise?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and it's everywhere. You cannot drive down the street without hitting within 5 minutes to McDonald's, a Taco Bell,
yeah.
Arby's, Burger King. It's our country is horrible when it comes to food, and it's no wonder that many people are obese. I was severely obese, and you give in to those cravings, especially when you're overweight. It's, yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing that. So that was Christmas of last year,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
am
yeah.
making arancini, which is
Oh,
fried. Yeah, for Christmas we had a whole Italian dinner, pasta, handmade pasta, arancini. Like that's how I would eat because you get the munchies after you've had a few glasses of wine and just,
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
it's,
so you're the cook? You cooked
oh, I
everything?
love to cook.
Yeah.
Absolutely love to cook. And that was one thing that that changed. I was, oh gosh, I'm not gonna be able to cook. I'm gonna have to eat all this stuff. But I still cook and I love it. Fresh veggies, salads. Last night I'm cutting up Swiss chard and tomatoes and everything like that. That's one of my things that helps me de-stress is cooking. And you still get to cook just in a different way.
just
Yeah.
in a different way, and maybe not so much. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not a cook in our family. My husband Christopher does all the cooking, so I always
Yeah.
say he liked to cook and I like to eat, so now we've been married 20 years and
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
But the drinking, I can really underst understand. I had become a big wine drinker, similar to your story, lost my job, started doing something else, and so but h when you drink now, maybe occasionally, how does it make you feel? Do you feel bad? Does it make you sick? What happens
I
now?
just can't finish it. It's like you take a drink of it and,
Yeah,
like you just don't want, you're just like, no. Like with the food, you're just it's like, no, I just can't. I just can't. And even my favorite drinks like a Bud Light, I just can't. Just can't. But sometimes when
yeah,
I get stressed, my body wants to, and not really my body, my mind.
right,
Let's chill out. Let's have a
yeah,
glass of wine. And like I said, your mind goes to that. You pick up a beer. I don't want it. I just
yeah,
don't want it. And
yeah.
in that respect, I think that this medicine has saved my life
That's
that way.
amazing.
Yeah.
We mentioned in a former video about the study that was done with rats and alcohol and this and these medications and it just it shows such promise,
It
semaglutide
does.
does, for a drug that can help break addictions like alcohol addiction, food addiction. So it's I think there's just gonna be more uses for this medicine in the future, things we haven't even thought about yet, and people are just like us stumbling across, "Hey, I don't need that glass of wine anymore," or "I think I need it," and then I drink it, and it's it just doesn't do it, like, it just
No.
and I don't know if you feel that with food too, like, some foods I eat now that used to give me that high, and I eat them now, and I'm like, "Eh,
Yeah.
just okay."
I was never a person who liked sweets, but now I almost eat too much fruit. I
Yeah.
love fruit, and I never ate fruit. That's a good thing, better than cheesecake, like the rats in the
Yeah.
study. That was very fascinating. There's just more studies, and the anecdotal evidence when you're on some of the Facebook boards, they're
Yeah.
saying the same thing. And it's like, come on, FDA, let's go with this. It's crazy.
Yeah, and now the thing that Chris and I have talked about and worried about is there's such a shortage. I don't know if you've had a problem getting
No.
Rybelsus. Maybe
No,
that's
because I
an
think it's a
option for
lesser
people.
known drug, and
Yeah.
so I haven't
So,
had a
do
problem.
peop is this if people can't find Wegovy or Ozempic, should they be asking their doctor for Rybelsus?
Yeah, I think it's
Is
worked
it
great.
similar?
Yeah, I would for sure. So, and
So
it's real easy, you
yeah.
just take it in the morning.
And I know they're talking about making other oral versions of, tirzepatide, of the Mounjaro and Zepbound coming down the pike, but, and I wonder why Rybelsus isn't more widely known or talked about. I don't even see a lot of people online talking about it, do you?
No, and it's made by Novo Nordisk. And one thing I read, actually, I think it was Bernie Sanders has come out and said that yeah, we need to investigate the
Yeah,
prices of this, which I think
right.
is fantastic. But I was reading somewhere out of pocket, I think the Rybelsus pills for me would have been about $3,000.
Mm.
Ozempic, same thing, a
Yeah,
thousand, $1,200
yeah.
per month. In Germany and Italy, they charge about $30 for the same drug. What is wrong
Crazy.
with this country and
It's
what is
crazy.
wrong with these insurance companies? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, we did a video about the whole Bernie and going the Senate investigation too, and it is it because we don't have socialized medicine and Canada does, and they can get it for $149 and Germany does, and they can get it for I think it was $59 or something like that. You really have to think of what are the insurance companies I guess they're just a business that's in it to make money. They don't care about the health of the people they're insuring, and what do we have to do to get that changed? Did you have any side effects when you first started your medication, or do you have any side
Yeah,
effects
I
now?
did. So it's the same that I've read on the boards with Ozempic and Wegovy.
Mhm.
The constipation, that was really bad. Earlier on, I was a little bit nauseous, but Mag 07 is my friend.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a
found
good,
some of that on Amazon.
yeah, it's worth like the 45 bucks a month. But other than that, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, awesome. And how long have you been taking just since December or have longer?
January.
January, yeah. So, that's a pretty quick 55 pounds?
Yeah, I started at 250. I'm 5'3", but especially in the past, I tend to shed the weight pretty quickly. I
Yeah,
mean, I had a lot on me, but I do prioritize the protein. That's always a struggle for me. I have worked out usually 5 days a week. And I'll tell you, I have never had so much muscle in my life. I mean, look at these guys, you know?
that's awesome.
Um,
Do you work out with weights? Like, you do weight training
yes,
stuff?
yes. In
Yeah,
fact, I read somewhere that weight training is almost, especially as you get older, it's almost better than aerobics.
yeah.
I hate aerobics, but I don't know. I love weightlifting. So when I go to the gym, I do maybe 15, 20 minutes of aerobics, high and pick, treadmill, whatever. But I'm doing a good hour of weight training. So
Nice. And how did you for somebody getting started with weight training, do you have any tips for them or any, like, apps that you use or things that
no,
you
because
follow?
I've always exercised, so I kind of know, but it's just you start out low and you work your way up and you'll find that you do start building muscle, but you have to prioritize that protein. Because everybody talks about, do you want to be skinny fat or do you want to have the muscle
Yeah.
that's going to help you?
Do you have a protein goal that you try to hit every day?
I think they say about 100 grams. I do struggle with that.
It's a
Um,
lot.
It is,
Lot, yeah.
but and I don't count my macros that way. I probably should. I do Weight Watchers as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I love the
You
point
count
system.
the points? Are you on the points with the Weight Watchers or the GLP-1 side of the Weight
No, I've
Watchers?
always done the points because I
Okay.
want to eat. I like that feeling of being really full.
Okay.
I probably eat a little bit more. I go beyond that satiated feel, but
Mhm.
it's with salad and like overdosing on good stuff. But yeah, I just didn't because I like to eat and I didn't get fat by eating apples and oranges.
That's what my husband always says.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
because fruit is 0 points.
yeah, and
So
even though I guess you could still say I'm diabetic, even though it's in remission, no, I don't believe that 2 oranges, an apple, and a banana a day is going to raise my blood sugar. And I was for about a month, I was wearing one of those continuous monitor things. I
uh-huh.
was eating the same amount of fruit, and it just stayed completely normal, my blood sugar. So,
It's interesting. That's really interesting.
mhm.
Let's see. So, what are some of your go-to meals? What are some things that you've eaten along the way here?
So I do a lot of wraps with chicken. And I do buy the chicken from that's already cooked. Your taste changes.
Yeah,
So if I grill some chicken, it just, I don't know, it has a weird taste to me. And I've gone off that. So
yeah,
probably eating more nitrates than I should. But
yeah.
better than
Good to
having a
know.
heart attack at 60.
Yeah.
So let's see. So like yesterday for lunch, I ate a bunch of fruit yesterday. For lunch, I had it was like a tandoori sort of a salad with cauliflower and chickpeas and lots of vegetables. And then I added some quinoa and brown rice. And I ate that for 2 days. Really good for lunch. And it's very filling. For dinner last night, and this again, I need to stop making so much food. This has been so hard for me. For dinner 2 nights ago, I made zucchini parmesan boats. So you
Mhm.
pour out the zucchini, put some marinara on it, a little bit of cheese. It's absolutely delicious.
Sounds good.
And I always have a salad before I eat, and the salad
Yeah.
has always got your cannelli beans, some chicken, tons of veggies. I really like balsamic vinegar. I would
Mhm.
love to douse it in some Caesar salad dressing, but things I do because you really can't eat that
That
the
much.
rest of your 40
Yeah.
years. So that's I couldn't even I got through my salad and I couldn't like even start on the zucchini boats. And I yesterday, last night, I'm like, okay, same thing. I'm not gonna waste this food. And I couldn't, I ate my salad, I couldn't get through the zucchini boats.
Isn't that funny how we in our minds, we don't wanna waste I have to eat it. I don't wanna waste
Yes.
I have to clean my plate,
Yes.
"Thanks, mom
Yeah.
and dad." We're
Yeah.
just been trained
Yeah.
to finish our plate and eat all our food, and
Hmm.
it's so interesting when I hear people saying that because 'cause I'm like, "If you're ea" and I have to learn it too because I tend to plate from the table to the sink sometimes,
Yeah.
goes in
Yeah.
I have to that has to stop, so anyway. But no,
Yeah.
do you have other people in your household that you cook for, or just are you just cooking for yourself?
I have a 19-year-old daughter who's always been picky. And then my husband's a big red meat eater, meat potatoes.
Yeah.
So we always, I've always made 2 meals, sometimes three every night.
Oh,
So I'm not used to
oh,
that. It doesn't bother me because I do love to cook. So just doing it. But I've had to rely on pans that I haven't used in years because they're small.
oh,
And
oh,
yeah, and
funny.
you don't realize how small, like, one serving of pasta is. You get it on your plate, but then the medicine, you don't finish it.
Yeah,
Whereas before, I'd be cooking these huge meals, eat it for lunch the next day, and then you're working and you're constantly thinking about, "Oh, there's the leftovers, there's a big bowl. I don't wanna waste it. Let's just go in and have a little bit of it, and hopefully by dinner time, it'll be gone." So it is. That is definitely a struggle, but I know if I prioritize smaller bowls, smaller pots and pans, it
yeah,
makes it look like there's more than it is. And I
yeah,
don't waste food because I hate that. Hate it.
yeah. We had some pasta the other night. We don't have pasta very often now, and he Christopher cooked the whole box, and it was this
Yeah.
huge. Why did you cook the whole?
No,
We're not going to eat this whole. He's, I
no.
don't know. That's what I always do, and
Right,
that's true.
right.
We usually just eat it until it's gone, and now we're like, we have too much.
Yeah.
So, are there any tips or anything you would tell somebody just starting out on this journey? Any tips or tricks you have?
Oh boy, the Mago 7
Yeah,
game
yeah,
changer.
life saving.
Just some of the things that I've talked about, the prioritize the protein, exercise and weight lift. I do see a lot of people on the boards. They think that they can take the medicine and still eat McDonald's, but less of it. And
Yeah,
you gotta change because that stuff's just not good for you. Why? Why go
yeah,
through this? Why do all this? Don't you want to get healthy? Isn't that like the
right,
end game, the end goal of all this? You can
right.
have your McDonald's. A lot of people say, eat your fat-free cheese and, eat this and that. No, I'm going full force with the regular cheese, but I'm going
Yeah,
to measure it out and I'm going to eat it in moderation. And you can have the same things that you always do. I eat pizza. I use those. I think it's this Joseph's flax
oh,
pizza.
the
Yeah.
flatbread,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, that thing is, and it's huge.
Did you
And for
get a
2
big
points.
yeah,
Yeah, and you load it up with veggies and some cheese, and you eat half of it, and the rest is for lunch tomorrow. So yeah, other tips, just roll with it. And I have learned I get into bed and I do my reading and I still do have in my head, oh, there's food downstairs. You didn't eat all of that pizza.
ooh,
Let's go
oh,
down it.
uh-oh, oh
So
no,
I get that a
maybe you
little
need to
bit.
go up in dose.
Yeah, yeah. I get it a little bit, but it's not as bad. But I think about it a little bit, but definitely not. I would go down. Normally, I would have gone down and
Yeah,
yeah. But I've learned to stop, think about my stomach, and am I really hungry? No, you're not. You're
yeah,
just so yeah, absolutely the food noise has gone down, but There's
Yeah.
certain times, like I said, at bedtime that sometimes
Mm.
it creeps back up a little bit, but nothing that I can't handle.
Are you to your goal weight? Do you have more to go or how's
That's funny. I would like to get down another 20 pounds. It's probably going to be the hardest. But a photo came up in my memories the other day in Facebook. And it was
Mhm.
a photo I took. I always call them my skinny jeans. Got those skinny jeans that they want to fit into.
Yep.
And I looked at myself. It was a selfie, and I thought, your legs are so thin. I was shocked that I was ever that thin. And I think I was maybe 170. I don't think I've ever gotten into the 160s. I don't want to be that way anymore. It was hard, and I just want to be healthy, and I want to be able to shop at a normal place.
In
I
regular
want to
store.
be able to
Yeah.
pick up the large,
Yeah.
and yeah. So I think 175 is going to be probably the weight that I'll stick to.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 more pounds.
Now, are you gonna try to get to the Weight Watchers chart
I think
goal
it's
weight?
all crazy. I if my BMI says that I would be, I think, 145 pounds. That is unattainable for me. I'm not kidding you. I would have to eat nothing but salads. And I'm not kidding. To get to that weight, I think that it's just insane. But if my blood work is coming back, I haven't had my like cholesterol and triglycerides checked. I would like to have that done
Yeah.
because I am on high blood pressure medicine. But I'm never going to be that thin. And I don't want to be. I don't want
Yeah.
to look, I don't want to look that skinny. And I don't think that it's healthy for people, especially
Yeah.
my daughter. I want her to know that you can be happy with your body at any size and shape. Be healthy about it. I do think that it's great that we have let that go, and people are beginning to realize that it's not always your fault if you're overweight. But I don't want to be that skinny.
At the gym, somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, you're done. Like, you're done." And I'm like, "I don't know, like, maybe 5
Yeah.
more no, no." And I'm like so I think sometimes it's hard to know, and I think a lot of times we look in the mirror as we're losing weight, and we think we don't see ourselves maybe as we are, so it
Mhm.
body dysmorphia and all
Yeah.
these
Take
things,
photos. Everybody says take photos. And
yeah. Have you talked with your doctor at all about, maintenance? Like, when you get to where you wanna be, like, what maintenance looks
yeah.
like?
So with the Rybelsus, same thing as like, oh, because Ozempic is the one that you take for the type 2.
Uh-huh.
So I was hoping to get up to the 14, but when I went in a couple weeks ago and my A1C had gone down to normal, she said, "This is it. Seven milligrams is all that you can take," because she said that my A1C, if I titrated up to 14, my A1C would go really low.
Mm,
So I will tell you, I lost most of my weight on the 3 milligrams to start.
mm,
I started on the 7 milligrams maybe 3 weeks ago. And I don't know, I think it helped a little bit because and maybe it was just those particular days, but on the three, I did start getting that food noise back. And I called them and I said, look, I think it's time to go to the 7. But
mhm.
I do worry. I worry again about heading back to the alcohol, but also getting that food noise back because if it comes back, that's the hardest thing. It really is. And that's really what has helped with this medicine. I just don't think about food 24/7.
That's awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Anything else you wanna add or share or tell people about?
I don't think so. Again, I mean, people don't really I don't think anybody realizes that there is a pill form of this.
Yeah.
So I don't like needles, and yeah, it's worked.
That's great. That's great to know that there's that option out there, and you could definitely talk to your doctor about it. Yeah, we're not medical professionals here. We're just sharing our own personal experiences, so definitely talk to your doctor if that's something that you would be interested in.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much, Rachel. It's
You're
and
welcome.
tell us your business again. Give us another plug. Do you have a website or
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do. I named it after my daughter, Gracie. So we
Mhm.
make goat's milk soaps and body butters and sugar scrubs, and it's Gracie Pie Apothecary. So graciepieapothecary.com. And yeah, give us a shout out. We're micro business and we would love to introduce our products to some more people. So,
Oh, there it is. Christopher's got it on there for us. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. We'll be sure to go check it out. Everybody go check out graciepieapothecary.com. And Rachel, it was so nice to have you on today. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on and sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you
And
for the opportunity. So I
yeah,
don't think people realize the extent of the benefits that I think this drug has. So
absolutely. Thanks, everyone. We'll hope that you will like and subscribe to our channel, The Downsized. And until next time, I'm Laraine Durham for The Downsized. Thanks for watching.